As a relatively new player to Raid, I find it really valuable when I can find a rare unit that actually helps me in areas of the game. This game is so geared towards a long-term investment that finding that one rare unit that can make you take one step further in things like Doom Tower is massively beneficial, and that's what I got to do today. Let's talk about how I've been taking down the Scarab King using a rare unit. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Raid Shadow Legends featuring me, your bald boy Scribe. How the devil are we doing? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I had a lot of fun today. So, Doom Tower, kind of important to get through. I'm still a relatively early game account. Obviously, this sort of thing, still a little bit tricky for me to get through. Scarab King over here was giving me... Let me just stop this multi-battle right now. Scarab King over here was giving me a lot of issues. Because the way that the Scarab King operates is he's always going to counterattack you if you do not have a shield buff up. And when he counterattacks you, he puts provoke on you. And when you get provoked, all you can do is basic. So I went out and I looked at a bunch of guides, and a lot of the guides said, oh, you need to have turn meter control. You want to have this blood shield ring. You want to have destroy equipment sets and stuff like that. And when I was looking through my account, I was like, I've got good turn meter control. I've got units like Lysandra, for example. I've got units like Allure, for example. All right. And I've got some units that can give me a form of shield. Here's a quick note, by the way. Even though Pelops doesn't have a shield buff, Magma Shield apparently does count in terms of Scarab, right? And the only other one I had that was built up was Tagore, which I love. And by the way, new players that are looking to sign up to play Raid Shadow Legends can actually benefit from this guy by signing up using my QR code or the link down in the description. If you are a brand new player looking to play Raid and use my code, the first character that you are going to actually get for absolutely free as soon as you beat the prologue of the game is Grand Oak Porrick, a legendary support unit that offers masses of value, and honestly, I wish I had this guy in my inventory. But not only that, every 10 levels that your account grows, you are going to be getting yourselves additional epic units, ladies and gentlemen, and one of them is the one I just showed you here. But let's just go ahead and talk about what you're going to get at each level. Starting at level 10, you are going to be getting yourself the epic support unit Stag Knight. Now, Stag Knight is a superbly useful support unit. He is able to put defense down, attack down. He's able to put, he's missing some gear at the minute. He's able to put accuracy up on your team. Really, really valuable. I use him in a lot of my dungeons as well as the clan boss for Demon Lord. Once you hit level 20, you will be unlocking Ugo. I don't have Ugo personally on my account just yet, but he is a very useful support unit, epic rarity support unit that is able to give you AoE heals and AoE revives. Once you finally hit account level 30, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be getting that guy I was talking about, Tagore. Tagore is one of my favorite units. This guy brings heals, survivability, AoE revive, and as we are about to discuss, on his A3, he has got an AoE shield buff on all allies for 2 turns, and is kind of pivotal in the team that I was setting up. Now, keep in mind, I had to book this guy to make sure that his cooldowns were low enough. Same with Pelops over here. If you want to get Pelops, go to the promo code, enter in Raid 7 or Super Victory, and you should get a Pelops straight to your account. Highly recommend it. This guy's a beast. Anyway, his A3 also puts out this Magma Shield. You do want to get those cooldowns. You want to get that maximum book out over there to get it to a 3-turn cooldown from a 4-turn cooldown. So let's talk about the last person in the slot. Now, I will definitely say there are better ways to do this. If you are much later on in the game and you've got plenty of equipment sets like destroy sets, I'll show you mine right now. I don't really have destroy sets. Where have we got destroy? I'll try and find it. Boom. You'll see how good my equipment is right now. Look at my destroy sets. They're just kind of garbage. You know what I mean? I just don't have any good gear right now. I'm working on it. I'm trying to build it up, but destroy is just not something that I have farmed. Not only that, there's also a special ring. I think it's called Blood Shield Ring that basically whenever you attack, you're going to get yourself a little bit of shield, which kind of really works versus the Scarab King. So I didn't have that. I had to basically muddle through and try to make sure that I always had a shield buff on my team. So essentially I went through and I filtered over here by buffs, and I just looked for the shield buff, which is this icon over here. And I tried to look for everybody that had an AoE shield buff that can keep my team alive. I happened to find this rather wonderful person called Metal Shaper. Metal Shaper is a rare unit. It comes at 3 stars, pretty accessible. And the great thing about this guy is his A2 over here. Place a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. The value of the shield is proportional to the champion's level. You gain additional percentile when you book him up, and his cooldown goes down to a 2-turn cooldown for an AoE shield buff of 2 turns. I know the math is mathical here, but that basically means you have a perpetual shield up, essentially, on your entire team for the entirety of the encounter, which is exactly what I needed. So I took him up just a little bit, 4 stars, ascended him 4 times, and I threw some gear on. You can see it's not fantastic gear. 15k health, he's got an extra 80 speed. That's all I really care about. You don't even need a lot of shield. Even though it's based on his health, it's not about survivability, because the Scarab King, he ain't taking turns. Shall we demonstrate? So this is the team that I was using. If I go into team setup, let's go ahead and build out this team completely over here. So we're using Lysandra lead. I like using Lysandra because she gives me extra speed. Extra speed is nice. We're using Pelops. He's a source of shield. We're using Tagore. He's a source of shield. I'm using Allure because she has got really good turn meter control on her basic. And then finally, where is my boy, the Metal Shaper? There he is. Okay. So when it comes to this, I don't really care about what abilities they use. We're going to go to turn 3. And all I want from Metal Shaper is if he has Fortified Steel available, he's just always going to use it. Always going to use it. Similarly, Tagore, in round 3, I'm going to put him first choice, use if available, Rise and Fight. Okay? Rise and Fight is his ability that puts that shield up. The reason I'm getting him to use that first is because he's actually, based on my speeds, he goes second. Lysandra will go first, Tagore is going to go second. Lysandra, I'm not going to hit the enemy, I'm basically going to increase our turn meter with her A2, and then Tagore is going to go and put Rise and Fight up. So I guess I should probably just go first choice over here as well. Oh, hang on, I'm not done. We are not finished just yet. Pelops over here, let's go ahead and place first choice on Victor's bounty as well, because we want to make sure that he is constantly doing that. Technically speaking, you should always be using Psychic Whip with Allure. That's going to be constantly resetting the cooldown. Metal Shaper is always going to be using this. We could probably even just turn off Rescue in tier 3, right? Similarly, I suppose we could go to tier 2 and we could just say, don't use Energize in tier 2. Similarly, Victor's Bounty, don't use Victor's Bounty in tier 2. And Rise and Fight, don't use that in tier 2. The reason I'm saying this is because we don't want them to go into the last round without using the correct abilities. Okay, so I'm just going to lock that one in, and we're going to just show it how it goes. I might as well put on a super raid. Now, I will say that with this setup, it's not exactly quick, all right? I don't have great units. They're not all, you know, maxed out the wazoo with high levels of gear or anything like that. My account is still relatively basic, but that's why it's so important, I feel, to find these opportunities where you can invest in easy characters, like rare characters, to make meaningful progress in areas like Doom Tower. This second tier is really annoying because you've got 3 AoE healers that also stealth and put heal recovery. They're just like irritating more than anything else. Now, I haven't tried to see if this will actually work properly on just a full automatic, not, you know, completely hands off the wheel. I'm hoping it does, provided the way that I set that up did work correctly. It should be fine, because these guys shouldn't be using the necessary specials that we need going into the final wave of Scarab. So it should be okay, but we just don't know. This particular wave might take me a little bit of time, thanks to those AoE revivers and healers, but we'll find out. I was kind of tempted to just target her. Oh, she's stealthed. See, this is the annoying thing about this wave. It's just like stealth, AoE revives, and all that silliness. Looks like we should be okay, as long as she doesn't get that revive off now. Yeah, we'll be alright. Alright, okay, so let's see. Now, Scarab should not at all take a turn now, because my Allure should strip him off. We've got the Energize, we'll get that shield up, we'll strip away his turn meter, and away we go. From here on in, we should perpetually have shield up, and the Scarab Knight King bro dude with the big juicy shell should never take a turn. Alright, should never take a turn. So you can see, like, Allure, great character. I did a video quite recently on using Allure in things like Fire Knight, you know, getting through level 20 of Fire Knight, because she is essentially doing this same thing, just constantly stripping that turn meter away from the boss all the time. See, no turns for you, which I absolutely love. The only problem is, because we don't have destroy sets, you can see this purple up here, if he takes massive amounts of reduced damage if he doesn't have his health destroyed. Yeah, over here. So damage is decreased by 90% if his max health hasn't been destroyed by less than 10%. We haven't destroyed any of his max health. We're not going to be able to destroy his max health, unfortunately, because I don't have any destroy sets, nor am I using units that actually do it organically. I did think about trying to embed that, and honestly, I'm just hoping that over time I will build myself some destroy sets, or maybe I can swap out Metal Shaper eventually when I start getting some of those Blood Shield rings to make it work. Now, in my experience, this takes me about 14 minutes, which is not pleasant, obviously, and I'm not going to sit here and make you guys watch it all the way through. So I think for your sanity and for mine, we can just cut to the end, when the Scarab King takes no turns, and we can all celebrate with a nice grog of mead. Sound good? Spiffing. I made myself a nice coffee. It's still going on. So the real reason why we always just need that shield buff is because, here we go. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Counterattacks when attacked by an enemy that has no shield. Right? That's why we need to constantly have perpetual shield so that we never get counterattacked, because when he counterattacks, he uses his basic and places provoke. And if we get provoked, all we do is basic, and then we can never do anything, and it gets annoying and frustrating. Now, theoretically, I could probably use my absolute garbage destroy sets and maybe throw it on someone like Pelops, because he's only really there to be chunky. And theoretically, I could use him to do some damage to destroy this health to make this probably go in about half the time. But I'm also a little bit lazy and I can't be bothered to change around the artifacts/equipment. And realistically speaking, I'm only ever going to have to do this once every so often, right? It's not so bad to have to sit through something for 15 odd minutes while they slowly but surely dismantle the King of Crustaceans. Well, cool. That's funny. He actually took a turn right at the end. How embarrassing. So obviously I could hone in that gear just a little bit better to make this actually operate very, very smoothly, but it shows the proof of concept, right? Shows the proof of concept. A really useful rear unit there that helps me deal with Scarab King, even if I don't have to take it to 50 or 60 or anything like that. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen at home, this video was at least a little bit useful to you. If it was, please do give me a like, a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out and big love.